Feel like we're on a roll today with double angles formulas, so I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to fix this lie I told here. We're doing this problem in degrees, and that's why I'm doing two of each, is to look at them in degrees and then in radians. So this is degrees. I'm a good speller. Degrees. Somebody almost was going to comment on that. Thanks for not doing it. Degrees. So moving forward, I look at this. First thing I'm going to do is this. Say, can I just find cosine of 300 degrees? We're assuming that our professor is not going to let us use our calculator. So what we may have a copy of, or even better, in our mind somewhere, is this. So here is 300 degrees. So this is actually a winner for us in the case of this particular unit circle. So cosine should come out to be 1/2. Let's pretend that we didn't know that this answer was going to come out this way. Instead, maybe we would take 150 degrees, and look at why we might do that. So if your professors had proved this using double angles formulas, then I would say this. I'd say, Professor, what we really have here is cosine of 150 degrees plus 150 degrees. And we know that we can use this formula that we've been provided and that hopefully we have memorized by now. And that formula looks like this. And I just want to make sure that I have it right so we have it right together, which is that it's the same as 1 minus 2 sine squared of u. Now, in the last video, I did the other cosine of 2u formula, which was cosine of 2u equals 2 cosine squared u minus 1. Here we have plus 1 minus this. So you can do it either way, and in a second I think you'll see why I chose to use the sine version. I also want to point out to you that 150 plus 150 is the same as 2 times 150, because remember, we're using this cosine 2u is equal to 1 minus sine squared u formula, right? So we're using this formula, so maybe you can see how this and this are the same thing. So I take my cosine out. We have 2 times 150 degrees, don't we? Where u is now 150. And then we just start taking our math. We have 1 minus 2 sine squared of u. So what is sine of 150? And in a second you'll see why I chose to do it this way. Go to 150. Sine of 150 is a lot easier and cleaner than cosine, isn't it? So it's just 1/2. That works out great, I think. So it's just 1/2. I just dropped this in. So I'm solving this. So sine squared of u is 1/2 squared, right? Because sine of 150 is 1/2. So I'm going to square that, and I'm going to get 1 minus 2, right? Remember, exponents are distributable over multiplication and division, so it's going to go to here and here, even though it only looks like it does something at the bottom. And 1 squared is still 1, but 2 squared is 4, isn't it? Remember, we're using PEMDAS here. So remember, we're still looking for cosine of 2 times 150, otherwise known as cosine of 300 degrees, so our professor can see how we got where we're going. Then we go back to here. Now we can distribute this math, and we have 1 minus, well, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 over 4 is 1/2. So we get 1 minus 1/2 is 1/2. Therefore, just as we suspected, cosine of 300 degrees, proven using double angles formulas, is 1/2. All right? I hope this is really helpful to you guys. I know that it becomes very important next year in calculus that this trig stuff starts to stick and that you are not seeing it for the first time there. So thanks for watching. Your comments are always welcome, and if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks.